Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Not Another Mom podcast. It's time to take that mom hat off because this is after hours and I'm making you off the clock. This podcast is here to help you know your worth because damn girl, you're a goddess who deserves to live the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Lesley Sprague, and we talk everything from manifesting to motherhood. Yes, those little monkeys will still creep in here or there. Spirituality to girl talk with your besties, and from business to finding that balance in life. I'm here to remind you that you are worth it. Life gets to be easy for you, and your dreams really can come true. So grab your favorite glass of wine, craft beer, or if you're a whiskey and diet kind of girl, grab that and let's get this show on the road. Hey, beauties, and welcome back to the Not Just Another Mom podcast. I am your host, Lesley, and as always, I am so grateful that you are here with me this week. Okay. So I have a little bit of tea to spill with you guys on what's been going on in my world and all that stuff. And then we're also going to talk a little bit of astrology for March because holy shit, we're in March of 2023 already. So I just can't even. And that means that in a few short days, I am going to have an 11-year-old. Like, not sure I'm ready for this yet. That means we're closer to getting into teenage years and all of those things. So let's dive in. Okay, you guys, here's the tea. I'm going to preface with a little story. And here is the thing. I am a firm believer that the more you know about yourself, the more you understand how you operate, and the better you are able to work around yourself and with yourself, be able to give yourself more compassion and more grace. So recently, actually, it started back in the fall. I had a appointment with my naturopath, and she had suggested to me, she goes, "Have you ever been diagnosed with ADD as a kid?" And then I'm not getting into the whole, they don't even call it ADD anymore. It's ADHD and all the things. But so I said no, but there had recently been some things when I was scrolling on TikTok that had popped into my mind that were cause for me to start questioning, because what they were saying in those videos were also things that I related to. So it started to make me question. So a few months go by and I start really questioning myself and how I operate again, because this pattern seems to keep coming up for me. And they say that you keep learning a lesson until you have mastered it. And I've kept learning this lesson over and over and over. And I'm like, okay, shit's gotta change. I'm sick of my bullshit excuses. And I am ready to shake things up. So I went ahead and I booked an appointment to get an online, like it was through an online platform. And turns out I do have ADHD, and and I'm still learning a lot about it, but so it's the inattentive type. I'm not the hyperactive, that I can't sit still or anything like that, but it is definitely a lot about having those squirrel brain moments and having those, like, randomly the other day I was putting away the groceries and I put something in the freezer and then I'm like, oh, the freezer's dirty. Well, I need to clean the freezer now. So I started cleaning the freezer and it just explains a lot. So I am very excited to learn how to work with myself better, knowing that there are resources now that I can go to. And one of my biggest struggles actually with talking about this is I don't want it to seem like I'm using my ADHD as an excuse. And I don't want to wear it as a badge of honor. In not a badge of honor, but you get what I'm saying, like as a shield for how I am. And I want to understand how I operate so that I can do better because that is what I am here for. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, whether it's ADHD or something else you've been thinking that you need to take care of or look into a bit more, I implore you to do it because it really is a little bit freeing. And I can, before I went through and went ahead with this appointment, what, like, I go down overthinking rabbit holes. And it's like, okay, is this actually something that's happening, or is this a limiting belief that's coming up? Is this partial, like, I know it's to do with my mindset too, but it's like, is it to do with my mindset that I can't break through these patterns? And so I start to psychoanalyze everything. So I actually had to have a pre-call with my naturopath and be like, should I actually pursue this? I need you to get me out of my head and, like, tell me what you think. And she's like, actually, I think this would be beneficial for you. And so I have a follow-up appointment with her, and we are going to work on strategies to, and she's going to provide me with some supplements, I believe, to help get dopamine going in my brain on a more consistent basis. So I am super excited for what's to come, you guys. And you can bet your ass that anything that I learn that I think that you guys will benefit from and that you might be in the same situation, I'm going to be sharing it with you guys here on the podcast. I'm probably not going to talk about it that much outside of this because of the fact that I don't need it to be an excuse. But if I find something helpful for me, chances are it might be helpful for you too. So that is the tea. Let's dive into astrology for the month because I'm actually kind of excited with what's coming up. So get out your calendars, mark these down. March 7th is the full moon for the month. And then March 21st is the new moon. And this is a super moon. Okay, if you are new to the podcast, I actually haven't talked about moon phases or moon vibes in a bit. So I'm excited to sort of chat about this again. It's been calling to me. And last night, this episode idea just landed into my head. And I'm like, yes, that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about the full moon for this month. Guys, this is the last. I'm like, I wish I could show you like blinking lights. This is the last full moon of winter. Yes. So spring is in the air, you guys. So what does that mean? Now is the time to plant your seeds. If you think of like what comes about in the seasons, especially here in Canada, in Ontario, We can't grow vegetables and fruit in the middle of winter. So now we're getting into the season of planting your seeds. Whether these are physical seeds from your garden, whether these are seeds and goals that you are wanting to plant for yourself, this is the time. So it's also the time with the full moon to release the shit that no longer serves you. So ask yourself the question, what can you do now? What energy can you feel now to help your future self? That's a powerful question, because when you think of it that way, like, how can I help my future self? That I have never, like, that's just mind blowing. So, this is actually what I do with my shifties inside the program, The Shift. This is a relatively new program. And what we do is we recalibrate your energy. We set also recalibrate your goals, and we also discover what's going on inside your business and find the blocks that are happening for you so we can release them. So if that is something you're interested in, send me a DM. But that being said, sorry, see, this is the squirrel brain happening right now. If you are interested and want to do a full moon ritual, I actually have one here on the podcast, and I will link it below for you. It is in season 3, episode 3. It is a full moon ritual. So if that's something you're interested in doing for the full moon, go check out that episode. Like I said, I'll link it in the show notes below. But it's going to be like a whole vibe. Rituals are one of the funnest things to do, and I just love doing that kind of thing. So check that episode out. It is absolutely fire. And if you're interested actually in learning a bit more about the moon phases and what they do, I go into it in a little bit more depth in another previous episode, season 2, episode 16. Check that one out. That will go into how to use the moon to enhance your manifestations. So that's another juicy one. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the new moon. This is actually a super moon. What does it mean? I can hear you asking already, when it is a quote unquote a super moon. Super moons are when they are closer to the earth than their usual distance from the earth. So it is actually closer to the earth. What does that mean for you and your manifestations in your business? It means that you are applying, like, have you ever seen the story or the science experiment where a kid is trying to use a magnifying glass and the sun to light a piece of paper on fire? That is what a super moon does. It magnifies and adds so much more amplification to your manifestations, your desires, what you're calling in. So that is the best part about super moons and their energy. With new moons, remember to ask yourself, what are you calling in for this month, for this season, and for the future? What are the things that you are calling in? So again, with a new moon ritual, create like a whole vibe for yourself. light some candles, get out your crystals, your cards if you want to, play some music that gets you feeling like your manifestations have already happened. And then write out your manifestations as they've already happened. Then what I want you to do, this is something that I am absolutely obsessed with, and it is something that is also new that I have learned. One of the things that when we are manifesting that we talk about a bit is that we put a lot of pressure on our manifestations. But the truth of the matter is that you are perfectly fine as you are right now, right? You are breathing, you are like living. That is a bonus. And everything is fine where you are right now. If we were to like get into the detail of it, I could bring you back to that grounded feeling that yes, I am okay. Switch your view from that you need to have these manifestations to that they are going a bonus in your life because it's fucking fun to have bonuses, right? And it's fun to have these things. That's why you want them. So when you are looking at your list of things that you want to manifest for the year, I want you to say to each manifestation, I want you blank, and then explain what it is that you want. But I don't need you because you are whole and complete just as you are. Okay. That's the whole method. You are whole, complete, and worthy just as you are. I want you blank, whatever it is that you're manifesting, but I don't need you. I want you just for the hell of it because you are fucking fun. Go through your list of manifestations and see how your energy around them changes. This was life-changing for me when I learned this sort of technique, and I'm obsessed with it. So I'm actually going down a rabbit hole on the specific training around this. But I am definitely going to be learning more and bringing more of that energy to you guys. So super excited. Yeah, so that is it for the astrology. I looked ahead, and there is no retrogrades or anything like that coming up for the month. So thank God we have a little bit of a breather. So take that time to really focus on releasing your energy for the month and planting those seeds because we are getting into spring. And this is when our lights come back. Literally, the sun will become more dominant and we will feel good about yourself. I don't know about you, but I just feel better when I'm in sunshine more often, and it's just fucking fabulous. I love the feeling of it in my soul when I have sunshine. Anyway, that is all for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are interested in working through a shift and creating a shift for yourself this week, send me a DM and let's chat because I am here for it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, will you do me a favor and help spread the love? Go ahead and leave a 5-star review and share this episode on your Insta stories. If we aren't yet connected on Instagram, come follow me at Lesley & Co XO. And since everybody spells my name wrong, that's Lesley & Co XO. And leave me a line and say hi. Have an amazing day, beautiful, and we'll catch you next week.